folks, this is Mike Nekta recording live out of the New York City Diamond District. Right here, we're going to be talking about some of my favorite things to talk about, big diamonds and diamond chains. If you zoom in over here, you see we have a slight little sample situation happening over here. Right, big diamonds are lots of fun. We're gonna start with the biggest one here, which is a 20 and a half carat fancy yellow. This is certified by the Gemological Institute of America. What that means to you is I'm not the one telling you it's fancy yellow. The Gemological Institute of America is telling you it's fancy yellow. You don't have to take the seller's word for it. Certified diamonds are ones that were submitted to a laboratory, they evaluate it, they give you their opinion on it, and now the price is based on the color and clarity that the laboratory or the certification represents to you. You don't have to worry about someone exaggerating because they have a conflict of interest, right? So everything is pretty much verified. Take a close look here. Sometimes when I talk about yellow diamonds on social media, there's always that really wise person that says, oh, yellow diamonds are a scam, they're just low quality diamonds, remarketed. Maybe, but not when you're talking about a fancy yellow. Those are the light yellow, not really fancy. A fancy yellow diamond is so valuable and so rare, it's off the chart. It's not an XYZ, WX or anything like that. That's what you're talking about. That's what you've been finding at the malls. This is a fancy yellow. This is the type of stuff people go to war at auctions like Christie's, Sotheby's, and all these other brand names in terms of auctions. The wealthiest people of the world go to war and try to outbid each other so they can acquire fancy colored diamonds. So this is rare because it's fancy yellow, but it's also rare because it's huge, 20 carats. Just to give you an idea, for a 1 carat gem quality diamond to be excavated out of the earth, 250 tons of ore have to be excavated. So just to give you an idea how big that is, the garbage truck that probably picks up the garbage from your house, that's a 1-ton truck. Fill that 250 times to find a 1 carat. Now imagine how much rarer a 20 carat might be. These are all verifiable facts. You know, when you're dealing with a big diamond like this, you're going to have to custom build the ring. There are no generic rings you could just order out of a catalog and set your big diamond into it. Because they're so rare, no one makes them stock size, right? So this gets all measured up, everything gets made specifically for the diamond. Then you have to match nice shoulder diamonds or accent diamonds. Little diamonds won't work for a big diamond like this. For example, setting little diamonds like this next to that huge 20 carat, it's not really what you want to do. You want to get chunky diamonds. What we have here are actually trillion cut diamonds on the sides. Each one is over a carat. It's 2.03 combined weight for just the side diamonds, all right? Sometimes that's more than enough to get one engagement ring. Here we have one of those just as accent diamonds and obviously the big one in the center. If you're wondering how much something like this is worth, depending on who you're shopping with, depending on what type of experience is provided while you're making the choice, right? If you go a big brand name, what are they called? They're called big box shops. They're probably going to charge about 1.7 million for something like this. Out in the New York City Diamond District, stuff like this goes for wholesale. But another thing is you're going to have to find someone that deals with this stuff because there's tons of diamond dealers in the New York City Diamond District. Everyone has their niche. Humongous diamonds like this are my specialty. So I'm probably one of the few in the entire city that can help you acquire a wholesale price on a big, chunky, shiny, rare diamond like this. Way under $1 million for something like this, way under. Okay, so I'm gonna put that one away. In case yellow is not your thing, I do have this emerald cut, which is very similarly priced, 22 carat white diamond. And pay attention, look into the stone. There's actually small diamonds set underneath the big diamond, and we set it in an emerald cut because it's a very transparent step cut diamond. You could see through it and you see the little diamonds. through the big diamond. Are you getting that? Take a moment, zoom in. Not too many rings in the entire world were ever created in this fashion. Also, once again, custom built ring for the center diamond. Take a look at what's going to happen on the sides. All right? Just to give you an idea, combined carat weight here between these two rings is 42.5 carats, actually almost 43 carats of diamonds. It's just these two here, 43 carats. And you might say, wow, that's a lot. You know what? I'm gonna show you something in a moment. Nate, get me the 40 carat out of the window. Yeah, I'm gonna show you a 40 carat today, which means pretty much these two combined into one, and that's even rarer. Big numbers, big diamonds don't scare me, folks. This is what I do all day. But while Nate is getting that, I want to talk to you about this one. This is a legit ice cube right here. 15.21 carat radiant on an eternity band shank with radiance going around the entire finger. Eternity band means diamonds go around the entire finger. And then more micro pave diamonds set into the ring from the sides. Micro pave means a diamond setter is viewing everything through a microscope while he's doing all the work. So when you zoom out, you don't see any of the metal holding the diamonds in place, because while it's being set, a high-powered microscope is being used. Take a close look over here. All these little diamonds set really close together. That makes a big difference. And we're not just using any old small diamond, because most of the time, while they're cutting small diamonds, they want to cut them really quick and move on to the next one because they're small, they're not as valuable, they want to rush through it. 9 times out of 10, we're going through a parcel, and if the little diamonds are not cut according to my standard, according to the Nekta blueprint, we're sending them back to the cutting facility and make sure they hit all the right angles, continue cutting them. Maybe we lose a little bit of weight, but it's worth it because we produce a diamond that sparkles with the same respect a larger diamond would. Okay, so that's very important. It's not just about getting small diamonds and getting them in there. They have to be properly cut. Their girdle, which is the edge around the diamond, has to be very uniformed, and you want to have thin girdles. A thick girdle will not allow you to set all the diamonds on the same level. So they all have to have uniform girdles. It's easier to work with thin girdles, and that will allow you to set the little diamonds in small amounts of gold like we have over here. Like I promised you, a 40 carat. Nate brought it over here, or was that Regina? I don't remember. Right here, 40 carat. One diamond, 40 carat, fancy yellow. Not light yellow, not XYZ. This is so yellow, it's off the chart, and it's really rare. Expect something like this to appraise for about $4 million. My price is $2 million. One diamond, $2 million. VS clarity. That means very small inclusions. All diamonds have inclusions, even internally flawless ones might have some blemishes. This right here has very small inclusions which are impossible to see unless you're using a high-powered microscope or a jeweler's loupe, which is usually 10x. It's actually always 10x. A jeweler's loupe is always 10x. Go on.
Cut it at that point. Don't mention.
Let me keep going, and then we could edit that however you want, okay? Because I'm on a roll right now. Let me tell you about the chart. This is the GIA, the Gemological Institute of America. And let me tell you this. They are the ones that created the diamond grading system that pretty much the entire world uses today. There are other grading systems out there, but they pretty much are the most popular. For example, the AGS has a grading system that rates diamonds from 0 to 9 or 10. I don't even know. I don't even care because I'm a graduate of the Gemological Institute of America. Their system is proven, and that's pretty much the global standard right now. Before the GIA, diamonds were graded for color. Let me first say, color for the diamonds starts at D, right? And here's what I was about to tell you. Why does it start at D? Before the GIA, diamonds were graded maybe however people wanted to represent them. And some of them graded them as AAA, AA, A, B, C. So the GIA just said, you know what, we're gonna skip all of that because it's a never-ending story. You can make it quadruple A and then another A, and you never know which one's the actual best color. So they just said, we're skipping all that A, B, C, and AAA stuff. We're just gonna start at D. D is the absolute most colorless diamond you can have in a diamond. You can see in this chart, when you flip the diamond upside down, they start to show you color because the carbon crystal has other elements trapped inside that give it some color. D, E, F are gonna look like this when you flip them upside down. G, H, I, and J start to look like this. You start to pick up little bits of color, right? Z is the yellowest on the white diamond chart. But when I'm talking to you about my rare, valuable, fancy color diamonds, it's off the chart. This is the fancy chart is not even on here. It's a completely different category, right? So don't mistake a fancy yellow diamond for a really well marketed yellow diamond. That's not the case. We're not talking about stuff you find at the mall, folks. I'm recording this out of the New York City Diamond District. This is like the equivalent to Wall Street when it comes to diamonds. And I myself am a graduate of the Gemological Institute of America. That's the Harvard equivalent in this industry. Okay? So pay attention when I'm trying to educate you. A Z color diamond is a really low color white diamond. It's yellow. But once it gets yellower than that, we start to call it things like fancy. And they get broken up into categories. Fancy light, there's fancy intense, there's deep, there's vivid. It gets better and better, right? So understand that there's a chart, and a fancy color diamond like this one or this one is off the chart, okay? Now, that was color. I think that this diagram pretty much explains to you what people mean when they say what color is the diamond, and you hear initials like anything from D to Z. Pay attention, zoom in. It starts at D, goes all the way down to Z. Most diamonds mined out of the earth are probably around this category, so they're not as rare. But technically, the white colorless diamond is a freak of nature. And we like that. This is a G color, still a very white diamond. This one right here has a 7 carat in the center, plus about 3.25 carats of accent diamonds everywhere. This is the type of stuff that excites me. I like creating very unique, bright, sparkly diamond rings with big chunky diamonds in the center. You gotta have it. To all the jewelers that are watching, if you don't have it, you're not gonna be able to sell it. I know you're all wishing like, ah, gosh, I wish I could sell those big diamonds. There's only one way to do that. You have to have them first. And not just one, you have to have a whole collection. That's what we've been doing here for the past 4 decades. Collecting big shiny diamonds so we could offer them to you. Anyway, let's move on to clarity. We just did one of the C's of the 4 C's. Now the other C is clarity. And clarity is referring to small inclusions. If you zoom in, there's diagrams of little marks inside the diamond. Zoom in here, you can see that one has all blacked up inside, right? Inclusions that are trapped inside the diamond crystal. The more inclusions you have, or the nature of the inclusions, the position of the inclusions will lower the clarity grade, right? Too many inclusions can make the diamond look ugly. Too many inclusions can make the diamond be in danger of breaking or splitting in half if it's all cracked up inside. But for the most part, if you stay in the SI2 all the way to VVS or even flawless, you're dealing with gem quality diamonds. If you're looking to get more bang for your buck, one way is to get yourself an I1 that kind of has an inclusion that you can kind of mask, an inclusion that's visible to the naked eye, kind of mask it or hide it under a prong, and you could get a bigger diamond for a lower price. But if you could spend the money, try to keep yourself in the SI or better. So it starts at flawless, then goes down to internally flawless, and moves all the way down to VVS, which stands for very, very slightly included, to very slightly included, the SI1, SI2, That's slightly included. I1, I2, I3 are included diamonds. They're so included that you see the inclusions to the naked eye, right? So zoom in on that chart, read this diagram here. Just remember, a SI2 and better all look exactly the same to the naked eye. The only time you'll see a difference is what? When you're looking under the jeweler's loupe, when you're looking under a microscope. That's how you could tell the difference. So if you're smart and you want to get more bang for your buck, get yourself a VS or a SI, because it'll look just like a flawless to the naked eye, but you don't have to go crazy spending extra money for the flawless or VVS. If you could get a good deal on one, by all means, but don't go crazy, because you have to remember there's two other C's that matter, and that's carat weight. You don't want to come through with a tiny diamond, and cut. You want to make sure it sparkles properly, because what is a diamond supposed to be doing, folks? Sparkle, right? If it's not sparkling, it's not doing its job. Let's move on. Okay, that's what I'm talking about here. The cut. The cut refers to the position and angles of the facets. How symmetrical they are, that's the symmetry. How the surface of the diamond is polished, that's the polish. But the cut refers to the depth, the table, the crown angle, the pavilion, all this. The pavilion angle, all these measurements, the crown height, have to do with how the diamond is cut. There's actually a proven mathematical blueprint that you follow to get yourself the excellent cut grade according to the Gemological Institute of America, but that's only for a round diamond. All other shapes, they don't get a cut grade. You're just gonna have to look at it and compare it to a whole bunch of others and see which one of those looks good to you. If it's a marquee or a pear shape or an oval, try to look out for a diamond that doesn't have a bow tie. When you look at some of them, if they're stretched out, they have some dark areas. They look like bow ties in the middle. But don't go crazy looking for one with absolutely no bow tie, because you'll drive yourself nuts. Anyway, the cut grade for a round diamond starts from excellent to very good to good to fair to poor. Definitely try to get something in the good, very good, or excellent. Stay away from the fair or poor, unless you're getting a ridiculously low price. Then it's okay to get that stuff, right? And I don't recommend getting a fair or poor cut for an engagement ring. You might be able to get away with that using those diamonds for diamond studs or a diamond pendant, but for an engagement ring, at least good, if not very good or excellent. There's one more of the C's, the 4 C's, and that's carat weight. Carat weight is a unit of measure. The word carat comes from the carob seed, because they used to use carob seeds on a balance scale to weigh gems. The seeds have a uniformed weight, but today we don't use any carob seeds. We have digital carat scales. You put the diamond on the scale, you weigh it just like you weigh your weight, or like in pounds or kilograms, same thing. So you put the diamond or the gem on the scale and it gives you a carat weight. This is just a diagram of incremental size changes that might happen. If you have a 1/4 carat, it might look like that. A 1/2 carat might look like that. A 1 carat, usually 1 carat diamond is usually about 6.5 millimeters in diameter if it's properly cut. 1.5 carat, 2 carat, 3.5 carat, 5 carat. There's no limit to carat weight. Just like you could have there's no limit for weight. Same thing for diamonds. I read about diamonds that are 1,000 carats and stuff like that. Those are really rare, probably rough. After they cut them down, they're probably about 600 carats, 500 carats. They're going to produce multiple stones from that. But there's literally no weight capacity. It's endless. One more thing to understand about carat weight and cut, because they kind of do have something to do with each other. Let's say I have a 1 carat diamond that's supposed to be 6.5 millimeters in diameter, right? Let's say that 1 carat diamond, if we flip back to the cut diagram, let's say that 1 carat diamond weighs 1 carat, but the diamond cutter cuts it shallow and spreads it out. So it may have a diameter that's more than that 6.5 millimeter diameter. It may have a 7 millimeter or 7.5 millimeter diameter. So you might say, wow, that's a great idea. I'm paying for 1 carat, but it's going to be spready. It's going to look like a bigger stone, like a 1.5. You might think that's a great idea, but what happened there is because you spread the diamond out, it's still 1 carat, so it's shallower. You change the angles, so the light is actually not reflecting and bouncing back out through the top. The light might seep out through the bottom or through the side if it's too deep or too shallow, and you're not going to have a diamond that sparkles to its maximum potential. Now, almost all the diamonds, the round diamonds that I use in my engagement rings are going to be signature ideal cut Mike Nekta cuts, which means they have to follow a certain blueprint to get you maximum brilliance. I myself am more interested in producing a round brilliant cut diamond that sparkles better than anything else. Okay, so what that means to you is when all the ladies are comparing diamonds, you may have a lower quality, but your diamond will sparkle better because it has the right depth, table, crown angle, pavilion depth, all that stuff. It's a blueprint. You follow this blueprint, you will have a sparklier diamond. So don't listen to the jeweler. This is a scam, all right? The scam is they say, hey, I got one that's cut deep, that's cut shallow, so you'll pay for less carat weight. Don't do that because you end up getting a diamond that doesn't sparkle as much as it should, okay? I think that's all the 4 C's, but I do want you to continue looking at some of these here to give you an idea. It's not only about the 4 C's of the diamond, it's really also about custom creating a work of art, okay? So once you find out what diamond you're gonna end up using, you still need to create a beautiful piece of jewelry because you're not looking for just a diamond, you're looking for an engagement ring. You're looking for the total package. So you need to be able to find something that looks good and suitable for the lifestyle of the person that's going to be wearing it. In this case here, it's an oval diamond with the prongs set up at 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 9 o'clock. More diamonds going around the entire finger, eternity band ovals, and then micro pave diamonds set in the undercarriage or the gallery or hidden halo. All these minor details make a major difference, so don't overlook the minor details. Position of the prongs, the little diamonds underneath, all these minor details make a major difference. Trademark Mike Nekta. Okay, look over here. Look at this ring, totally encrusted in diamonds. Totally encrusted in diamonds. It ain't easy, but it's definitely worth doing. Classic. 3 tapered baguettes on each side. Big 5 carat round diamond in the center. Colorless diamond, E-color. Remember about the color chart? Just to give you an idea. Let's go to the color chart. So being an E-color, it's right up here, you see? It's second right after the D. Very colorless. Folks, but besides the big diamond engagement rings, I also get excited about selling stuff like this to athletes, musicians, and anybody else might want to wear this. This is a unisex piece. If you want something that's different, I got that stuff, all right? So this might be a nice anniversary gift. Diamonds set pretty much everywhere. It's totally encrusted. This design is very popular because we have round diamonds and baguettes mixed in one piece, and the fact that you have step cut combined with brilliant cut diamonds, it creates a nice effect. The baby Cuban, really popular baby Cuban. Let me just show you what that is. This is a baby Cuban necklace. It's a Cuban link chain, but we call it baby because it's really thin and not enormous. Diamonds that are 3 diamonds on each link. And this is a 2-tone rose gold and white. In this case, see, this is how the chain starts. We don't drill holes and add the diamond into it. We actually solder more gold on top of the chain and then set those diamonds into the prongs that we solder on top. It's a little bit more labor intensive, but what happens there is you don't lose gold weight from your chain after setting diamonds to it. You actually gain gold weight because you're adding to it. You don't want to drill away and lose all that weight. That just gets swept away and the refiner keeps it. You need my help?
Yeah, left.
Folks, I'm gonna have to cut this video short. You have more than enough information. Comment below with tons of questions because I get a kick out of answering your questions. Whatever questions your local jeweler can't answer, let me help you, okay? And then you could tag him so you'll learn something.